the camera a little bit. We're here with Cody and Hunter Miller. Guys, you guys had some good draws on the starting the poker chips. Tell me about the course. Start out with the course.
The course is awesome right now. It's getting really fast. We're hitting 100 miles an hour in like 3 different straightaways out there, and all the jumps are flowing good. The wood trail flows good. You know, there's just a lot of high-speed stuff. We got a bit of concern about brakes because we are going so fast out there, so we're kind of worried we might smoke our brakes before we finish this race. There's a couple water crossings, but they're not getting too rutted out. So far so good. Everything's flowing well. Everybody's been pretty polite whenever we come by and hit the sirens, and we've been able to make pretty good passes. So far, I'm sitting in first place. Cody Taylor's out there in the car right now. I think we've got about a 2 to 3 minute lead. Kyle Chaney just got back into his car, and he's pulling us a little bit right now, but Cody Taylor's running a conservative pace so that we can hopefully finish this race with no major issue.
Okay, Hunter, you just had a little bit of an unfortunate mishap. What happened out there?
Yeah, not sure what caused it, but been a rear drive shaft, you know, just one of those things that happens. We pulled the front one and now we're running in 2-wheel drive. We're trying to make the decision if we're going to try to make the repair or just keep running the rest of the race in 2-wheel drive. Obviously there's risk involved with that, but so far Cam's out there right now and he's running good laps in 2-wheel drive, so right now I think we're leaning towards just staying out there. He just moved us back up into 3rd place, and so I'm going to hop in, I think, in another hour or so and see what we can do.
Okay.
When he pulls into pit, we'll make the decision, I think, based on what we think it's going to take to change the drive shaft and go from there.
Okay, so we've been talking a lot today about the fans can't see the track because obviously you can't get the Wi-Fi out there and things like that. So can you guys tell us a little bit about the track? You know, are there places where it's more technical? You guys are used to, you know, the woods a little bit more than maybe some of the other people who are more short course. What are some of your favorite areas of the track? Or are there places that are a little harder to maneuver?
It's definitely a good mix. You know, you'll be running along at, like Cody was saying, 100 mile an hour in some of it, and then you'll get into some tight, twisty stuff through the trees where you know, really in a race this long, you don't want to be going through that stuff too fast because one little mistake and you're done. So, you know, it's a good mix, really. There's different parts of the track that suit different cars. You know, we definitely set our stuff up to be able to handle a little quicker and maybe a little more lightweight and sacrifice a little fuel mileage. But, you know, for the most part, it's a great mix. You know, there's a couple good wood sections and lots of fast stuff. It's great. You know, we got all that rain yesterday and everybody's a little worried we were getting pulled in here, but you couldn't have asked for better conditions. I mean, there's absolutely no dust, and it's great. Cody Taylor? Yeah, it's got to be Cody Taylor.
Cody, craziest rookie, don't name any names, craziest rookie mistake or thing you've seen out there on the track today?
It was for me.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah, the first lap I had gotten the whole shot and I was out, had a pretty comfortable lead, and there's some sections over there where there's a single that goes right into a deep hole, and I just totally forgot it was there, and I hit the single and landed smack.
If you have Cody Taylor check relay information, the radio seems to be way more clear than the other guys.
One moment. Anyway, I smacked right into the face of that.
I know
other
exactly
side of
where
that
you're
hole.
talking about. We were actually talking about that this morning. That somebody, if they didn't realize that was there, was gonna go like smack down right into it.
So I bumpered
into
it. I bumpered right into it, and I thought, oh, there goes my race, because I teetered and I almost did a front flip, but it came back down, and the car was still in one piece. So we're still living on a prayer out there.
Okay. Well, you guys have a lot more race to do, so thanks.
Yeah.
Good luck to you guys out there. So 1st and 3rd right now,
Yeah.
and it's a long way to go. What time is it? 12:12. So we have a lot of race left to go.
Yeah, we got a lot of racing to do. That's for sure.
Okay, awesome. We'll get back to work. Get back in the car. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
you. We just heard from Hunter and Cody. Hunter got back in. He was in third, and then he just had another mishap. What happened here?
Well, so we updated since last time. Hunter had his second breakdown of the day, so it's not going good. He was running strong in second place behind his brother Cody. So we ran over there. First time he broke his front left CV axle, and what happened when I spoke with his co-driver, what happened was they decided instead of changing it, they were gonna go in two-wheel drive instead. But that puts a lot of
he was in third. He just had another mishap.
yeah, we mute that real quick.
It doesn't want to mute. It just wants to
Okay,
live.
I'll turn it down on the computer. Second breakdown of the day. So it's not going good. He was running strong in second place behind his brother. A little technical difficulty. We're still getting it done.
Okay.
So I spoke with his co-driver. I saw him pull in the pits again. Basically what happened was they decided to, instead of replacing the whole thing, they decided to do it in two-wheel drive, which that puts added stress onto the rear axle.
Yep. He just he
blew out the rear axle, so they had to completely swap out the whole thing. So fortunate events. He's still, I believe, he's still running strong, only in sixth place with a lot of time to go. So for having two, basically, almost catastrophes. But they were hustling over there, man. Luckily, when he first broke down, he broke out right outside the pit, so he was able to run back to his pit, and everybody was able to get some stuff to him, where people have been breaking down and having to get towed back to their pits before they can even work on their car.
Right. Yep. And you just heard him talking about the first break.
Right.
So hard luck for him right now. Cody's still running out front. Kyle Chaney in second. Colin Truitt's still in third. Colin had some issues with his car that I know that he had to have some work done on his car, but got back out there. He had a little bit longer pit stop than they were than they wanted to have.
Right.
I know I was talking to his mom for a minute, but they were able to get back out there. I know that they were battling with Dwight Pollard between third and fourth a little bit, but he was able to take that spot back. And then with Hunter going down, obviously that worked in his favor. So still the top 10 are pretty much holding strong in those same positions, or within the top 10, I should say.
Yeah, there hasn't been much change within the top 10. Everybody, but we're only.
Let's refresh just 1 minute and take a look at it.
We're about 5 hours in now. Yeah,
Yep.
5 hours, 6 hours in.
Let's split this and bring this up so everybody can see some things that we have going on here.
So we're adding up oh, you're fine. We're adding in
It's not wanting to add, but
click the other one too. To the left.
we're doing it. There we go. So we can take a look at what's going on here in the 12-hour pro. We have, just want to make sure refreshes we're getting. And this is available if you want to follow along with the live timing and scoring. This is on the TEXPLEX website. So you're following along the live stream on the TEXPLEX Facebook page, but the live timing is on the TEXPLEX website. So we're looking so there we have Cody Miller, Kyle Chaney, Colin Truitt, Alan Butler. So
a couple changes there. I know.
Yeah, where'd he come?
Definitely, Alan Butler coming out of nowhere, out of Walterboro, South Carolina, on the Yamaha, showing strong showing. I saw Matthew Hancock, who actually that was one of my pick. He was running sixth. I just saw him over here pit, so I'm not sure if they were having a problem or if they were doing a driver change. But obviously they're a couple laps back. But it's still 6 hours in, 6 hours to go. Anything can happen. Ton of carnage. I wish we had probably about at least 10 cars go out so far.
Oh, you know what? We were just talking about that. I don't know why the timing and scoring is not showing when cars are out, because we definitely have cars completely out of the race.
No, yeah, there's definitely there's a good 12 cars at least out of the race.
So we're gonna check on that and find out why it's not showing why they're out. So
when we come back next time, I'll talk to Jess, who's doing the live scoring.
Yeah.
And I'll see if we can get an update on that for you guys. Today is just a day in general. I mean, the beautiful day. I mean, compared to we had a lot of rain yesterday. Yeah. Beautiful day. I'm about to take off my first layer of clothing, my jacket, and I'm in the hoodie now. And with this sun, I might go straight t-shirt. Show everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll do it because you guys got to see I'm wearing the event t-shirt.
You're a little crazy for
So I'm
going
showing
like one layer.
Yeah, so I'm showing the
It's
event.
not that warm.
You gotta rock the 12-hour event t-shirt. Pick that up. Tell your friends, your family, pick one up. I know you guys are on the
The
internet.
back is really
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
I had on that sweatshirt I had on that hoodie yesterday. It's super cool looking. Today I have the Saturdays are for racing hoodie on.
Special edition TEXPLEX edition.
TEXPLEX, yeah, because it's Saturday.
It is, and Saturdays are for racing.
Exactly. I needed like more layers. I
cold
layered
this
up today. I have a vest that I'm gonna put back on.
Yeah, I was out here at 5:30 in the morning, man. My toes were frozen. I had two layers of socks on. I had a jacket, hoodie. I didn't have my beanie.
Where'd those extra socks go?
I took them off.
I can use them.
I took them off. I put them back in the trailer. It was like kind of uncomfortable with my feet. I needed actually the thicker socks, but and then I also had to change my socks. On the starting line when we were doing the Mont starting line, I was running and there's a big old pothole. My whole my foot went down to like my knee, half my knee, and surprisingly didn't break my ankle. But
What else is going on out there? The pits. There's a lot of people in the pits because they need a lot of people when they're coming in. You know, they're doing fuel. We're now starting to see, the first time people were coming through, it was just checking on fuel, checking on the driver.
Right.
Where now they're actually needing to switch parts.
Yes,
So
exactly.
things are broken. Earlier, I said that I completely misspoke. I said I didn't really see like a lot of like axles and things like that needing to be changed right off the bat because I didn't really see places you're going to break that kind of stuff. But I was wrong
Yes,
because people went out there and just like beat their cars right in the beginning, and so all of a sudden everything was broken.
oh yes, you touched on this in the beginning. We've been touching on this all since we started. The drivers are out there racing like it's an hour race.
Yeah.
2-hour race. People are on the first lap. There's crashing. People were bumping. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, why are you gonna survive? The strategy is obviously to make it 12 hours. You don't want to be racing like it's the last, like you're racing for the checkered flag on the white flag, and you need to make a push. So that definitely took out a lot of people, put in a lot of wear and tear on the cars.
I don't think they are now though.
No, I think they've settled back a little bit. They realized, like, hey, you're right.
Yeah.
It is a 12-hour race.
I was just walking through the pits, and I have lots of interviews that are going to be coming up that I just went through and recorded. I have some more guys that are coming
Can you
over.
give us drop a couple names that are going to be coming up for us? Or are we teasing that?
I honestly don't even know who I just interviewed. I did so many of them.
That's okay. So guys, stay tuned. You'll see a similar
That
interview
sounds
like with
so
Hunter
bad.
and Cody.
Yeah, so Hunter and Cody were the only like two people with one interview. But yeah, so I have several that I just did, and then I have some guys lined up that are going to be coming in. And so that sounds horrible. You just put me on the spot, and I couldn't even like name people.
I apologize. I wasn't
No,
trying
that's
to.
okay. That's okay.
Well, we're trying to get some pros. So who on the list? Who would you like to speak with on here on our pro list?
Well, so we already spoke with Cody and Hunter.
Correct.
We're going to be speaking with Kyle Cheney later.
Awesome.
Let's see. We have Sean Hess. I actually spoke with him. So he had some car issues. I'm not quite sure what happened with him, but I spoke with him first thing this morning. I actually have in staging. So I have a much earlier interview. It's just real quick about like strategy and his plans for the day, his drivers. So I'm gonna play that next actually after this. And then he is going to be coming and talking with me later on. He's a big player in the game, and he's actually a Talon driver.
Okay.
So he is breaking into the game in a Talon, which are one of the few Talons here.
Not a whole lot of those out there.
So he is one, and then he actually a co-driver or another driver of his is going to be coming in.
Right.
And then
I also know so Colin Truitt, the third place team out of Nebo. I don't know him personally. I know him, but I know his co-driver Corbin Lieberton very well. He's a Work Series champion, so I can get.
I spoke with Colin.
Okay, so I can get them in here and have a talk with them.
Yep, I spoke with Colin, and I spoke with Colin's mom, Jack Letourneau. I spoke with him, and we have an interview with another one of his drivers on his team coming up that I have pre-recorded for that. So we have just a mix of all kinds of different things coming in here. So
that's going to be awesome. Sorry,
a good variety
Brian was
coming
asking
up.
me if we were doing a live stream. I'm like, of course we are. letting them know that we're in a...
Tell them to turn it on and watch
Yeah,
it.
if you watch it on YouTube, buddy, you're going to see us on TV.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian. Everybody say hi, Brian. So Brian actually is the one in charge of putting this 12-hour race together out here at TEXPLEX. He's basically the race director of the facility. Put a beautiful event on. It's amazing. Everything. We had the great band yesterday, as we spoken about earlier. It was just we started about 5 minutes late, but just getting staging. When you're trying to stage, 60 plus cars, it gets kind of hectic. People don't like to listen, where they're going, and you're trying to back them up, and everybody wants to drive around. You have to. It's always funny. The guy who's like the last guy is always the first guy in line.
Well, you know what I actually heard, which I guess we don't really think about this, but Le Mans was actually a new starting style to a lot of people here.
Yes, I don't believe they do that for side-by-side races. I've never seen it done before, have you?
Oh yeah, we do it all the time.
You do it for side-by-sides?
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so is that something that you don't do in the work series?
No, we all do dead engine starts.
Okay.
Dead engine starts, and we usually, because we have so many cars, we usually have to have like 3 to 5 lines of people, so they'll start a minute apart, and they're based off of lap times, overall time. So somebody who's physically in first may not be the overall winner because somebody else may be behind them and started on the line 3, maybe running faster times, but they may be like in 7th overall.
Absolutely, yeah. So we start like that. We do all kinds of starts, but so Le Mans is not a everyday start,
right?
But our drivers are definitely used to or have done a Le Mans start. So I was just surprised when people started coming in here and I was talking to people in the pits that they're like, we didn't have a clue what we were doing, or that was the first time we've ever done something like that. So I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, oh, really? So I think those are just little things that, coming from different areas, you just have such a variety of people and drivers that we don't think about those things.
I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed. I was offering my services. I used to be a high school track runner, state champion, and offered my services for free for somebody to run down to give them the key. I'm telling you, it's good for at least a 3 to 5 second start, but unfortunately everybody declined, but that's fine. At least I got to almost get ran over by trying to film it.
I was gonna say, at least no one got run over.
Yes,
no one got hit. Because with that many people who have never done Le Mans and then having runners, it could have been a little dangerous.
It could have been dangerous.
But that was good. So I think we're gonna. There's Sean Hess is moving. He dropped a little bit. Now he's just going back up. So he's going back into the top 10. So I know as I was walking by in the pits earlier, he yelled out and he's like, I didn't forget about you, because I told him this morning when I did the interview when he was in staging, I said, if I do this interview now, you have to come and follow up with me and tell me like how the car's doing, how the track is. And so when you get out of the car.
Right.
And so then when I was walking by, he yelled at me. He's like, I didn't forget about you. But he had probably more than a dozen people around the car working on the car. He was strapped in. And so I wasn't even looking his direction. I was just keeping walking because obviously I knew there were issues going on with how he had dropped, because he was up in the rankings and then he had dropped lower in the top 10. And so I knew there was some type of car issue at that point.
Also, too, I know that some of us out there speaking with some of the drivers, and they were just wondering, like, because on the live feed it shows basically like seconds behind, and they're looking for more overall times. They're trying to gauge how much did they back up. So we're gonna try to figure that out as well when I go to talk to the live feed or the scoring, and we'll try to figure that out so we can get that some answers for you on that. But as of right now, I said we're pretty much halfway through. You're gonna upload some more videos that you interviewed, so stay tuned for that.
Let's watch some drivers. We're gonna get a couple more in here and watch some drone footage and go from there. I think our 6 hour, what time is it?
It's over. The 6 hour is over. So we
yep.
can update on the 6 hour if you want to. We can scroll down, show you guys the 6 hour.
Yep, up there you go.
There we go.
So we refresh it, make sure we have the finals. So unofficially, so we want to say unofficial just because we have not,
sometimes there's penalties that don't get factored in.
Exactly. So unofficially, what we have are right there on the screen for the 6 hour.
Oscar.
We have Oscar Amos, Matt Getz, Felix George coming in third. Followed.
It's an all Texas sweep for the top 3.
There you go.
So big up to Texas. And then also you have Nathan Ads, Cole Woolenweber. What do you think? You want to give that a shot? Woolenweber. Very good. And Randy Clifton. So it's the top 4 are from Texas. You think that's coincidence that they finished? They probably come here a lot, I bet.
I mean, chances are, yes.
Yes, I'm gonna say.
I would say.
I'm gonna say they've raced here before. But with that being said, like I said, I gotta head out back onto the track, go do some more investigative reporting, find out what's going on in the pits down there, see who's broken down, what's going on. You're gonna do some more interviews.
Yep, we're gonna watch some of those interviews from this morning. And then we're gonna go into some of the ones from this afternoon, and then we'll get some guys in here to update us on where they are right now. Later.
Hey guys, Sean Hess here out at the 12-hour race at TEXPLEX Park, running the number 22 Honda Talon turbocharged.
Okay, Sean, how do you feel? We're out here, it's early in the morning, you're ready to start going. A lot of cars in the class, good contenders here. How are you feeling about going out to this race today?
You know, there's a lot of great contenders out here, and it's really anyone's race, and a lot can happen in 12 hours of racing. So, you know, we're looking forward to it, and we really like our odds.
What have you done to prepare for this race? How is your background in endurance racing?
So we do a lot of cross-country woods racing, which are hour-and-a-half events, and then short course. So as far as real long races, we don't have a lot of background in it, but we know how to build a car that can hold up to the abuse of an hour-and-a-half of just really hard beating. So I feel like we got a good chance.
Okay, so what's your plan then going out today? I know that a lot of times everybody says they're going to go conserve the car, but when you get out there on that starting line and everybody goes to take off, you know, you have to keep a cool head about you. What's your plan to actually go out and do that?
Yeah, you know, you're right. It is a battle for a racer to not push it too much and conserve the car, but that is exactly what our plan is. You know, we're going to go out here and just be smart about everything and really try to conserve the car as much as possible.
Okay, well, good luck to you out there. Come and see us in the live stream booth when you're done. We want to hear how it is out there. We'd love to hear a little bit about the track, so come on and see us. How long do you plan on being in the car before you do a driver change?
This first leg, we'll be in the car roughly 2 hours.
Okay, perfect. So we'll see you in a couple hours. Good luck out there. Be safe.
Thank you.
cool. From
Forest Lake, Minnesota.
Forest Lake, Minnesota. So you are here representing the Midwest.
One of the guys, yeah, there's a few of us down here. But we brought a whole slew of guys and a bunch of Wildcats down here, and we're giving this 12-hour deal a go.
So tell us a little bit about endurance racing and your experience.
You know, the longest UTV race I did was the when we came down here in last October for the side-by-side sports series. We did a 1-hour race. Other than that, racing myself, endurance-wise, I don't have any experience. I've been around a lot of snowmobile stuff that we do some longer distance stuff, but me personally racing haven't. But Jack and Mike, a couple other guys with us, you know, they run all the cross-country stuff. But again, those are only, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours a piece. So I think for everybody here, it's something new. You know, no one's raced for 12 hours on anything, let alone a side-by-side. So it's new territory for pretty much everybody, I think.
So how did you prepare the setup of the cars for this race compared to, you know, what you're used to, or just even the endurance races that you did last year with side-by-side sports?
We're just running our normal cross-country setup, which is what we ran last year for the side-by-side sports race, and it's what the guys run all summer on the AXCC series. We're running that setup, and then just, you know, having the mindset that it's 12 hours long. A lot's going to happen. We've had our own share of adversity today. We had an oil cooler go bad and on lap 4, and then and then it made some fans short out, so we're fighting some overheating stuff, but we're going strong now and we're back up and at it. So just gotta hopefully we can go these next 8 hours with no issues and make up some ground.
Yeah, so we're 5 hours into the race right now. So I mean, we're not even halfway through. Is that crazy to think that you've been at this for 5 hours and we're not even halfway through it right now?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we knew it's going to be a marathon. It's definitely not a sprint. It's not, you know, like our normal kind of side-by-side racing where you're maybe out there for 15 minutes. This is it's 12 hours. So there's a lot can happen. It's a long day. I mean, it's a long day.
How have you managed to stay out of the carnage? You were the first driver, correct?
No, Jack was.
But you've driven.
Jack went, and then that's when we had the oil cooler problem, so we switched like a lap or two earlier than what we planned, and then I went, and now Jack just got back in.
Okay, so we've seen so much carnage coming in off the track, just pieces of cars, full cars being hauled in. How have you managed to stay out of that?
You got to know what your equipment's capable of, and you got to use your head. Again, it's 12 hours, so if you crash or, you know, break something by running into something in the first 6 hours is kind of stupid.
Any specific spots on the track that you have had a hard time, or that you have to remember, oh, hey, this is coming up, I have to watch out for that spot?
Yeah, there's a lot of jumps, and with it being whatever it is, it's about 14 miles, the course, it's hard to remember how hard to hit every jump, where the landing is. Just getting used to that, but the more and more we run, the better and better that gets. Like at the end of that, I got faster every lap, just getting to know the track. So, but again, you got to pace yourself too. So,
okay.
But I'd say that's probably the biggest thing, is just familiarizing yourself with the course.
Okay, so your strategy for the rest of the day then, anything changing the next time you jump in the car?
Nope, we'll just have something to eat, drink some water, and go back at it and just try to keep her in one piece.
Okay. Well, good luck to you guys. You have an awesome setup. It looks like you have a great team. Go out there and get them.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Here with Donovan Willis. You are more local than most here at the race. You're from, where is it again? Austin. So do you come to TEXPLEX often?
Yeah, usually at least once a month.
Okay, so you're more familiar with the track, with the dirt here.
Oh yeah.
So how do you feel like you're more prepared coming into this race than maybe most others here?
We are familiar with probably about half the track. Half of it's new, half of it's not. But at least we were able to make a good tire choice
and suspension choices and kind of know what was going on before we got here.
Okay, so you're in the Sportsman 12-hour. So we've seen a lot of carnage on the track. How have you been able to avoid that, or have you not? Are you part of that?
No, we're not part of that, but we spent the last month or so prepping, and the car has a ton of new parts on it, so we definitely didn't skimp out.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that prep. Anything different that you've done for this race? Have you made the car stronger? What have you done?
We put a new set of trailing arms on it from Texera Tech. We put brand new BFG tires on it. We did all new wheel bearings, all new bushings, all new Heim joints. So the car is about as fresh as it's ever going to get.
Okay, so you really came out here as a heavy hitter, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, anything that you weren't expecting on the track that you're seeing out there today?
No, not really. Everything has been pretty expected. It's actually a little shorter than we expected, but that's not a problem.
Okay. So we're about 5-ish hours in right now, meaning that there's still over half of the race to go. Does that make you nervous, or are you excited about that?
No, we're excited. We haven't broken anything. We're not using nearly as much fuel as we thought. Our belt temps are staying super low. The car's holding together fine. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. So what's your plan for the rest of the day? I mean, I guess if you're doing well, keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, keep doing what we're doing, trying to figure out times if we're going to keep going. We've been going about 5 laps each, and I don't know if we're going to increase that or decrease it. So we'll figure that out here shortly.
Okay. Anybody that you want to shout out to, sponsors you want to thank?
No, we don't have too many sponsors, but just thank my wife for coming out here and helping us, all you guys for coming out here and helping us a bit, just helping us keep it together.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much. Good luck to you out there. Stay strong and stay safe.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks.
her up, Sean.
Yeah. I just had to do one of these.
Like where's audience?
I think everyone's gonna love.
Okay, so we are here live now with Sean Hess. Sean, we saw a video from you this morning. You were ready to go, keeping the car together. We saw you were up in the 4th, 5th, 6th position. Where did you start? Let's start there.
We've worked our way up to 4th, and car was working good. You know, we had a good start. Of course, we drew 10th.
That's what I was looking for. Okay.
My wife pulled us out 10 out of there. Fortunately, she's got a lot better luck than I do, so I let her draw. She pulled the 10th out, so we started 10th. Of course, it was a Le Mans style where they run to us and give us the key. So I don't know exactly where we come off the line. I think we were actually off the line in about 10th somewhere when we got going. We got going and just kind of worked through traffic, kind of letting everybody set into the pace of the race and not really wanting to tangle with anybody, just get a flow going and kind of get spread out a little bit and just set a pace. And we did that and just kind of started rolling through and worked our way up and was holding 4th. Car was working extremely well. As I mentioned before, you know, this race, we come into this, we wanted to test our turbo kit that we're going to release at the first of the year for the Talon. And so this is this whole race is strictly R&D for us to try to, you know, better our product. So we run up in 4th, and basically we had a header bolt come loose and it cracked the header on the turbo, so we had to do some repair in the pits. We had to weld the turbo, or excuse me, the header, and get back out there. We lost some time with that, and that dropped us back. Actually, by the time we did that, we dropped back to like 14th or 15th, and we're now back sitting in 10th. You know, my goal in this, obviously anybody wants to do good and win, but realistically, I was shooting if we can hold out a top 10, you know, that would just thrill me for testing out new product.
Okay, so let's talk about your setup for the car. So coming out here, what's your endurance background?
So I've got a cross-country racing background, so we do hour and a half style racing. And that's as far as endurance, that's what we do as far as lengthwise. Of course, we run short course, the TEXPLEX series that's been here, and we did really well with that this year. We finished second in Pro NA on our Honda Talon, so we're super happy about that. And you know, so endurance-wise, it seems like we're racing just every few weekends somewhere, you know, and so that's what prepares us for this. And the length of the race, you know, it's just a little bit different mentality. It's not so much the person driving, it's more so keeping the car together. And so you got a little bit different strategy in that, obviously, than if your race is an hour and a half long. Here we're just past the halfway point in the 12-hour race. And there's a lot of racing left. I mean, there's some, as I expect, there's some top 3 guys, the Millers and Kyle Cheney running up there. You know, as expected, they would do well. This is good kind of racing for them, and they've got background with KOH and stuff, and so they're run up front, but it's still anyone's race. I mean, it's 6 hours of racing. Anything could happen. In 12 hours of racing, you're going to be hard pressed to not have any issues, you know, in 12 hours. So, you know, hopefully we've had our issue and got that behind us, and we can continue to move forward and pick some positions back up.
I don't even need to interview you. I mean, do you have any questions for me? Because I haven't needed to ask you anything. You just kind of like taken everything and rolled with it. So I don't even know what to ask you. So no, one thing we've talked about today, you talked about like the carnage and things like that, was people coming off the line. Everybody spoke about taking it easy on the car, maintaining the car, just making it to the end. And we saw, everybody talked about that, but then we saw everybody take off full force off the starting line. And that's one thing that we even talked about yesterday on the live stream here, was just that's something that I've seen over and over again. Everybody wants to keep a level head and take it easy, but then no one does when they come off the start. Were you able to maintain that?
Well, you know, any racer will tell you that, yeah, I'm going to take it easy, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But we're racers at heart, you know, I mean, so we naturally want to be out front if we can be. But no, you know, other than in the initial getting, you know, everybody kind of took off like crazy because it was jockeying for position to get settled in. Obviously, you don't want to be rubbing tires at the beginning because, I mean, you've got 12 hours of racing. So if you're rubbing tires, it's, kind of a dumb thing to do, But, naturally that's going to happen off the start. Everybody's anxious, nerves, I'm nervous. I'm a nervous wreck before the start of a race. As soon as the engine starts and I take off, I actually calm down. So I think a lot of people probably have that, experience. And so you're antsy, you're ready to get going and feel, and of course there's always that thought in the back of your mind about, is somebody going to hit me to cause me to wreck right off the bat? I mean, it does happen. But, fortunately we was able to get off to a good start and kind of get settled in. And I don't think we had much carnage at the beginning of the race, to be honest. But we did, start seeing cars fail in like we expected in the 3-hour mark.
Yep.
Start seeing a lot more carnage in the 3-hour mark, and now we're at the 6-hour mark. So you see more and more carnage out there. And, and that's why I said it's still anyone's race out there, because something can happen to anybody at any time, and it is super hard to stay 100% focused in 12 hours of racing. Fortunately, we've got pretty much every team's got other drivers to help with that, to help keep us focused. I've already ran in the car about 3.5 hours or 3 hours, somewhere in there. So, I'll be running tonight when it gets dark too. So that'll bring a whole other element into this race.
Yeah, because at one point it switches not just to like physically being there, but mentally
That's
being
right.
there. So how do you prepare yourself mentally to get back in the car? This is not just like a wide open track. This is it's not necessarily like extremely technical, but you can't overdrive this track. I was surprised when I went out there yesterday, like the twists and the turns. You can't overdrive one way because you have to be the other way really quick.
Right, and of course, the track's holding up well, but there's also creek crossings out there that have some real slick areas. After we go through there, it's just really slick, almost like being on ice. So that's another element. And of course, we're using elements of the short course track from TEXPLEX and some of their motocross tracks also. So you throw that in the mix. So now you've got jumps involved. There's just so many things between trees and the jumps and everything that can tear your car up. So yeah, keeping a level head is very key on that to survive with the car.
And there's some 14-year-olds out there racing the sportsman, the sportsman 12-hour class. So what kind of advice would you give to one of those like 14-year-olds out there, or an aspiring 14-year-old even?
The best advice I could give would be one thing: don't be concerned if you get nervous before the race. I had a 10-time national champion tell me that he gets nervous every time he goes to a race, and that's nothing out of the norm.
Yep.
So, as far as that goes with me, don't worry about your nerves. And, you got to use your head out there. I mean, sometimes there's idiots out there with you. So keeping a level head, using your head, being smart, drive to your ability. And when you're driving to your ability, that also keeps you from overdriving the car, because you're not making dumb decisions that would affect it. So, that's pretty much what I would tell them as far as what to do. And by all means, if they're looking to get in the sport, it's fun. It's a great sport. There's a lot of camaraderie. All these guys run up top, or I consider them good friends of mine. So, it's kind of like going to the racetrack, but seeing your extra extended family.
Last thing, I know you have to get back to the car, but I just want to talk real quickly. I want to touch on the Talon. You're one of the very few Talons out there. We saw the Talon actually take a couple top spots at the Baja 1000 lately. We've seen them come into short course. Very few, but they're starting to come in there. Obviously, in a predominantly Can-Am X3, Yamaha owns the class in Pro Stock.
Yep.
Polaris obviously is that trail riding car. Tell me where you see the Honda fitting into this.
Honda has always been very competitive. If you're rolling out Honda on anything, you're sadly mistaken. And I've been a fan of Honda for years. That's my go-to machine. So when they come out with the Talon, I could not wait to get behind the wheel. And I've got experience in Polaris, Can-Am, and Yamaha myself. But this Talon, I knew if Honda's going to put something out there, it's going to be competitive, and so you don't rule it out. And that machine, I see a lot of bright things in the future of that machine in all aspects of racing, and we're slowly proving it. There's teams across the country in different aspects proving that. Like you said, it did so well in Baja even, and we did really well in short course in our first year at it. You know, we're competing against other teams that have years of R&D and development in their race program, and we're coming out here in year one putting these things up on podiums and getting some top spots out there. I guess say year 1 and 2, but I mean, it's going to be a machine to be reckoned with, and I think you'll see a lot more things out of it.
Yeah, well, we mentioned earlier, top 10, we have Can-Am, Polaris, Yamaha, and Honda. So good luck out there, be safe, and we're excited to see where you land.
Absolutely. Hopefully we can at least accomplish our goal and finish the top 10, but we're going to see if we can't pick off and maybe snag a podium spot yet.
Okay, well, thanks for taking some time. We have another driver coming in, so we're going to cut to the track real quick, see what's out there, and then we'll be back in just a second. Okay, we are back with Chad Deutsch driving the number 911, another Honda Talent.
Yes.
Okay, and you are driving with, I'm sorry.
We have Jared Sheets and Ty Phillips.
Okay, so you've already driven today?
Yes.
Okay, did you start the race? Jump in second?
I got in the car third, so I'm just fresh out of the car, so I look like a mess here. And then I'll drive last.
We like that though. Everybody likes to see
Right.
what you look like coming out of the car. That's exciting.
The other drivers are cleaner. They don't hit the water holes as hard as I do.
That's fun though.
That's right. It's like the log ride.
We hit those going through them a little bit yesterday, and I got a little splash. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
So you guys you started more in the back yesterday. We just talked to Sean Hess, who drew a 10, and he's up in the top 10. He's around number 10. You drew 31.
Yep.
So you had some work to do.
Yeah.
You and your drivers had some work to do.
Yep.
You guys are now up at number 7. You're in the 7 spot.
Yes.
So you had to go back from 31 to 7. So tell me about working your way through the field, because we have to remember you're not only working through those pros, you're working through pros and sportsmen.
Correct.
To get up to that spot. Because we just want to remind everyone at home that we started a 3-hour, 6-hour, and the 12-hour together this morning, and you're starting pros and sportsmen at the same time. So working your way through the field, Tell us what that was like getting through that field today.
Well, Jared had actually started the race off, and we did that on purpose because Jared is the calm, collected, gonna save the car early on, knows, you know, there's a bigger picture here that we're trying to accomplish. And then we put Ty in second because he's maybe a little more aggressive, and then they put me in third. I don't know if that makes me more aggressive or not. But we did, you know, Jared's stuck, I think, mid-pack. He was maybe running just outside the top 10. I think Ty might have picked up a position or two, and then I ran us up to 6th, but at the pit change, we dropped back to 7th, obviously, switching the driver out.
Okay. So what's your strategy? I mean, you've been moving up all day long. So tell me, do you feel like you guys have it in you to keep going up? Do you think that, you know, obviously everyone wants to keep moving up, but do you think you can continue moving up in that pack?
I do. I think our strategy really works to, you know, just kind of save the car till later and push it a little harder and a little harder. Keep it as clean as possible, you know, for the first 9-10 hours, and which we have. We haven't had to do a tire change, nothing. I mean, the car's been perfect. And you know, some of the faster guys that are running out, you know, that typically run out front, you get those guys to collect up and they start pushing each other. When they start pushing each other, things happen. So, you know, we can, by saving the car, I would say that some of those guys in the top 3 positions, if they keep running that pace, we probably won't catch them. But we're betting on the fact that they won't.
So at what point, what's your strategy? At what point do you expect that you would start like pushing harder, that you would be less afraid to break the car and know that you need to start moving?
So we'll probably do that in the last 2 hours. I mean, it all kind of plays out. We watch the times, lap times, see how far we're falling behind. Early on, we were, you know, maybe a minute 45 a lap slower than the top 3 guys. You know, I think we've got that cut down to about a minute or less at some point. So, you know, maybe hour 10, 11, somewhere in there, we'll really start to push, depending on where the field is at and how much attrition there was.
Okay. And where is your team out of?
We're out of Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Okay, so you had a little bit of a drive to get here.
Yeah, it's about 12 hours.
Okay.
About the same as the race.
Okay. What do you think about the track out there?
The track's great. It's actually kind of a faster track. You know, we race XC. We race at AXCC and the IATV. You know, that's usually tight woods, a lot of off-camber stuff, creek crossings. There is a couple of creek crossings out there. The soil here is a little bit different, so it gets blue-grooved kind of like a circle track. You know,
a little slipperier than you're used to?
Yeah, well, sometimes it gets really bitey, almost like concrete, you know, when it gets hard packed or grooved. And then when you do the creek crossings, there's an off-camber section that runs along that creek, and that's getting pretty sketchy because it's clay, so it gets greasy and, you know, top layered.
I have to catch this. So you just said crick. I say crick. Where I'm from, it's crick.
Right.
And nobody else says that. So where'd crick just come from?
I'm not sure.
No, I liked it.
I think I use it universally. Creek.
I liked it.
Yeah, stream.
Somebody from the Midwest made a joke before when I told them I was coming here, he's like, they want that Midwestern accent down there in Texas.
That's right.
It's the word crick. So I've been talking about creek crossings all day long, and people are like, what? It's a creek.
That's right.
But so how are those? Are they being washed out at all? Have you seen?
Surprisingly, they're holding up pretty well. You know, like if you were in Midwest soil, you know, the black dirt, sandy loams or whatever, the more cars that go through them, they kind of keep digging them out and pushing the mud out and pushing the mud out. These, you know, being clay, I think they're holding up really well.
Together.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you getting back in the car?
I will get back in the car here in about probably 2.5 hours, something like that. And I'll take the last 2 hours of the race.
Okay, so 3 drivers, you're each taking 2 rounds.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that's working out perfect with about the time we need to fuel the car anyway. So.
Okay. What about parts? Are you having to change any parts that you're anticipating?
The beautiful thing is you know, last year our dealership ran X3s and XC. Love the car, we sell them. But every round you were like doing a significant amount of work to them. I mean, it cost a lot to upkeep them cars. The Honda, when Honda kind of wanted us to represent them this year, you know, so you're like, rah, let's do it. And then the realization hits that you're taking another new chassis, another new car. You're starting over and going to compete at, you know, pro series or pro level. How's that going to work out, you know? And surprisingly amazing. I mean, if we didn't have some of the first year issues you have with like tuning, you know, this car is very advanced with the i4-wheel drive and traction control. You know, so tuning is a lot harder than it is to do to an X3. So absent that in this first year car, I'm not even joking when I say all year long we could have like pulled them in the wash stall, washed them off, and loaded them right back in the trailer and took them to race again. With the traction control and i4-wheel drive, they're easy on tires. We're not killing tires all the time. I think we've maybe punctured 3 sidewalls all season between both cars in like 24 races.
Okay, so you're ready to just get in and drive and go again.
Yep, they're just ready. So at this 12-hour, they should, you know, they should do very well, or it should. We're just running one here.
Okay, so anybody help get you here that you want to shout out or thank anybody at home?
Oh man, we got lots of great people behind us. We have Honda, obviously our dealership, Dr. Power Sports, CA Technologies, we run a lot of their suspension parts, Raceline Wheels, they take really good care of us. Gary over at G-Force actually just sent us a set of shocks to the office here. We picked them up and put them on because we brought the other car, you know, in case we need parts. So we put them on that car, went across the street to the test track, set the suspension up, and then took the shocks off and put them on the race car for today, and they've been fantastic. Got them in Power Tune. Andy at Power Tune, he's been over backwards for us on the tuning. You know, the tuning issues have been very difficult to crack the tuning, and he's got it. So, yeah, I'm probably forgetting something.
And everybody else that he forgot, he's really sorry, but he thanks you too.
That's right.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in. Good luck. Get back out there and move it on up.
We're gonna go see what we can do.
Okay.
All right.
So we're cutting it back to the track. We have more interviews coming up for you in a little while. Hey, we just need to go over and do a quick camera switch. We'll be back in just a minute where we have a driver who had a pretty unfortunate accident that we're here to tell you about. So we'll be right back.